Hi and welcome. Today I have my 4.5 by 4.5 with rounded corners. It's Bristol smooth paper and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet. This is my second. Maybe you've seen the other one, maybe you haven't yet. I can't remember if I've posted that one yet or not. Anyways, so yes, I just cut them on my little Fiskars cutter and then just rounded the corners of the punch and was ready to go. So you might see my hands moving like I'm talking, and I was gonna talk through this video, and I did, and then I accidentally deleted the audio because that's what I normally do. Anyways, I might do one later with the right audio. But anyways, I'm using this Distress Resist spray, and I think I'll probably do one and drop it before this one. So I'll be telling you the ins and outs of using the resist spray, in that I will link it here once I've done that. So just watch that. It's an easy thing to use. It's just there's a couple things you need to be careful of almost after you use it, kind of like keeping the pump spray clean, because it could clog, and you can, I guess, once they're clogged and set, you got to throw it away and buy a new spray nozzle. Not a new bottle, but a new spray nozzle. Anyways, so I'm taking my 4x4 and 4.5 by 4.5. Did I say 4x4? It's 4.5 by 4.5. Putting a layer of kitsch flamingo, and then I dried it just a little bit and added another layer of kitsch flamingo just to kind of deepen the color up a bit. And I'm going to just give that a quick little dry as well. And I'm using this new stencil from AAll and Create. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. I need to find out. But I like them because they're perfect for wider sizes like this one. And I wouldn't have to, like my Tim Holtz ones, I'd have to do part of it, let it dry, then move it. And while that's something you can definitely do, but when you're considering drying time, it just kind of makes it not as fun. So I'm using this, I think I've got 4 or 5 of that brand, and I do like them. So I'm putting it over top, and I'm going to go ahead and tape it down, just because I don't want my spray to, move the stencil around. And if it's like bowing in the middle, you don't want that either. So this one isn't, but I have some that do kind of bow in the middle, just of use. And because I've primed it, some of the pumps, my first pumps, are empty because it takes a minute for it to get full back up. So I'm gonna spray, and I think because I was talking, I got a little closer than I normally do. I normally back that nozzle up quite a bit just to get a nice even spray. So, but I did get some globs down there, and I do have some results from that. I mean, it's not a typical result for me when I use it. I was distracted by talking, and so I'm just emptying my stuff in the feeder tube and pumping that out, and then I'll have to go and clean that up again. And again, this is the most important part of the video I'm going to do on maintaining that spray. So once I'm done spraying, I'm going to remove my tape and the stencil, and the stencil goes right in the bath. Also, again, hand sanitizer is your friend, because almost always, even though I have a paper down, I get overspray, and it is not fun to clean up unless you have some hand sanitizer. Maybe there's other things too, but hand sanitizer works for me, and I just rub it around on my table. So this is the result, and I think it's because I pumped out little globs instead of it. The white area should not be there. It kind of stuck to the back of the stencil. So, and I was going to just toss it and throw it away and try again, but I thought, you might have this same situation as well, and it's not a deal killer. So I'm just going to work with that, and you'll just see how I work with it. So I am going to first, I wasn't planning this, but I'm working with what happened. I'm going to take some picked raspberry, and it's going to kind of go into those white areas. Now, and it really is fine because the white area came up, but normally you would be putting another color on anyway. So it's not, like I said, not a deal breaker at all. So I put picked raspberry on it, but this isn't really kind of the outcome I want. I want a little more grungy look. So after I get the picked raspberry on, I'm going to add some vintage photo. You see that one corner, I keep moving around so I can't really tell you. Now it's the bottom left. Didn't get a really good contact or really good resist spray. I'm not sure which. But so that's going to be my bottom right, because that's where I'm going to put my ephemera anyways. So it's not going to matter at all. So now I'm going to add some vintage photo, and this you'll see is going to change everything. It's going to change the pink, both pinks, and it's just going to give the whole piece a totally different vibe. It's not going to look sweet and bubblegummy anymore. If you want sweet and bubblegummy, that's perfectly fine. Just don't put the vintage photo on. And in the middle, I do like a heavier around the edges, and then just a light in the center. So you can still see a little bit of the picked raspberry, and then, then you can on the edges anyways. Now I was going to put some more vintage photo around the edges, but it really does not show up well. So I opted to step it a little darker and grab walnut stain. And I like that it kind of creeps into some of the areas. I thought that really helped in the looking vintagey. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp on here just to give a little bit of interest up in that right corner. Now I'm gonna full clarity here. No, that's not. Just being honest. I'm missing a word. I was gonna try to do those with embossing powder, and it just didn't work. It's kind of sticky. So, and that's still, I mean, that's been hours ago now, and it still is sticky. So tried to look it up to see if anyone had done that before, and I couldn't find it, but maybe that's why. So I am just stamping versus embossing. And this is not my focal image, so the fact that it's kind of fading into the dark, or will kind of fade into the background, is just fine. And because it's kind of, the light bulbs are kind of hanging, I think they needed a little bit of a chain. And I wish I would have had a stamp that would have done that, but I did not have anything. And so I'm just taking a gray marker and just giving it a little bit of a chain. So I'm getting ready to do my collage, and I've got these flowers from a digital download. They're going to be my focal image, and the only thing else that is not a digital download is my Tim Holtz number strip. I'm going to be using a junk journal page. I mean, it's a digital file, but I print it, and it looks like a ledger. That's probably one of my favorite pieces. One of my favorite digital downloads is that ledger page. Comes with a bunch of different ones, but that's my favorite. And it's a whole page, and I just take my large round punch and just punch out what I want. So once I get everything positioned, I'm gonna start gluing. And the last thing I glue on is the number strip. And that is the last thing I do. So I will have some final pictures coming up. I hope you enjoy those. If you haven't subscribed, I invite you to do that. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up. And either way, I hope you have an amazing day. See you next time.